Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Chloe and thank you so much for clicking on today's video. So today I did do my makeup. I have some eyelashes on, some fake eyelashes, and my hair is looking, this is how my hair looks naturally when I don't do anything to it. So it's not looking its best, but we'll proceed with the video for today. So first of all, I want to thank you guys for all of the support on the channel. I really truly appreciate every single one of you that clicks on the videos and drops comments. I love seeing the same people coming back to my channel multiple times. It's something that I don't know, it just makes me really happy to see you guys on the comments. So yeah, thank you so much for all of the support. I truly appreciate you. On today's video, first off, I want to give a big trigger warning. I'm going to be discussing eating disorders and weight gain. And if this video won't support your journey or where you're at in your recovery, please do not watch this video. Or if any talk of weight, food, and food intake is triggering for you, please do not watch this. You really don't have to watch this. And I can see you in my next video. So what I want to talk about is accepting weight gain during your eating disorder recovery. This is something that I've gone through multiple times. If you guys don't know, hi, my name is Chloe. I'm recovering from atypical anorexia. I've been dealing with the disorder for around 10 years, so I'm almost 26. I started struggling, I would say, with eating disorder behavior around 16, 15. So I was diagnosed earlier this year, and it was a relief, and also it's been really hard, of course. I have mentioned that I'm doing fantastic in my recovery lately. For the last couple months, I've been doing the best I've ever done in my recovery. Even though I wouldn't consider myself fully recovered, I do think the difference is tremendous because I never taken recovery as seriously as I'm taking it now, and also I've never been more connected to the idea of how much work it is, I've always been like, oh, I'm not ready to recover. I'm not ready to do this yet. And I mean, it's understandable. A lot of people with mental illness are not ready to get treatment, and it sucks, but that was me for many, many years. I wasn't ready to let go of my eating disorder. I wasn't ready to let go of these control mindset. I wasn't ready to let go of the obsessive behaviors. So I literally had to first make consultations with a psychiatrist. I'm on medication for my OCD, which has been really helping me. And also I'm working with a dietitian and a therapist at the same time. So they're all in communication. So I have been blessed to have access to mental health assistance. And I know that that's not the case for a lot of people. So I think, a video, oh hi, a video online won't replace therapy or that type of stuff, but I think watching people talk about it online definitely helps. And I think watching people maybe struggling with the same things that you're struggling with might also help. And this video is, of course, aid for maybe people that are also in the process of recovering, who have made that decision, which is an incredibly hard decision, a really brave decision. So it will be made more for people who have the access to, therapy and that type of stuff, or are in full recovery mode and are completely committed to recovery, if that makes sense. It really saddens me and makes me really mad that there's not enough, healthcare access for people with this, but that could be a whole other video. As for now, I do want to discuss the aspect of weight gain and how I've been dealing with it, and maybe give you guys some, I don't know, maybe you can relate to what I've been going through, or maybe you don't relate to this and you have a different experience with it and you can share it in the comments or whatever. But for me, it's kind of difficult to explain because I've always struggled with weight gain. And, in my case, weight gain was absolutely necessary for me to recover. It was a part of the recovery process that was just non-negotiable. I had to deal with it and I had to accept it. But the funny thing is, every single time I had tried to recover, I never fully committed to recovery, so I would relapse quite easily. So what ended up happening is, the moment I actually clicked in my head that I wanted to recover and that I was going to fully commit to, recover and do it, I was just so fed up with my eating disorder. That's one of the biggest things. And also I had very intrinsic motivation to recover. Like, for example, one of my biggest motivations to recover was being able to carry healthy children because I want to be a mom. And so that was a big kind of like kickstart to my recovery, because it wasn't just about myself anymore. It was about carrying healthy children and also being able to raise healthy kids and for them to see their mom have healthy eating habits. So I kind of like had this really, really big motivation going on. And what's funny is the moment it clicked, I completely disconnected myself from the way that my body looked like. So before, every single time before, when I wasn't fully committing to my recovery, seeing the weight gain of, refeeding myself and actually not starving was so detrimental. Like, it was hard as fuck. But the moment I actually committed to my recovery and the moment that I gave up this idea of how my body should look like, it wasn't like just a moment where it clicked. It took like a lot in therapy and like talking about this a lot. But that's the moment where I didn't look back, and how my body looked didn't really matter that much anymore. Of course, it's okay to give some value to the way that you look, because we're human beings. We live in a very visual society too. Like, that's what happens. But I think when you really connect to the idea of, I want to have a better life. I want my quality of life to be better. I don't want to be tired all the time. I don't want to be moody all the time. I hate having headaches. I want to have healthy children that not only I can carry them healthily, but also they have a healthy mom that can look after them and they don't pick up on anything that, that's weird or disorder about her eating. Those were all of my motivations, and they were very intrinsic. And through therapy, I made all of those connections to actually truly commit to recovery. And once I did that, the way that I looked was kind of like really in the back corner. And of course, I have some days where I don't really love what I see in the mirror, and I don't fully believe in body positivity. I don't think it really helped me ever. The whole thing of loving yourself sounded like another imposition and something that I had to do. And if I didn't do it, I was doing something wrong. Like, that's just how it felt for me. And I know it helps a lot of people, but to me, it just never really helped. So body neutrality, I can make a whole other video on body neutrality, but that's the approach that I work with my dietitian and my therapist. And throughout actually committing with this recovery for the first time in my life, if I'm being honest with you, I can 100% say that most of my days I've had very good body image days. And what a good body image day is not like looking at myself in the mirror and being like, oh my god, you're a goddess, like, oh my god, you're so cute, oh my god, you're so fine. No. For me, a good body image day is where I don't spend hours in front of the mirror body checking. I don't hate the way that I look in the mirror. I don't fixate on something. Like, that to me is a good day. If none of those things happen, I'm having a pretty good body image day. And I have seen weight gain after, this months of recovery, which is to be expected. It's completely normal. And I have not been faced by it. And it's very, very weird. It's very, very surprising for me. I really believed that I would be completely shocked to my core. And it was one of the hardest things of, regaining weight before. When I did try to recover before, it was what would make me relapse, was seeing the necessary weight gain. But in this case, it just clicked for me. It's weird to explain. And I don't want to say, oh, it's because I have all these goals, like internal goals of having kids, because it's still about me. It's still about my health and my life. And it's still about me wanting to enjoy my life as much as I can. It's very intrinsic. And I've been moving my body in ways that I get joy of. I feel joy when I do those things. I have not been, pushing my body to look a certain way. Like, I don't fucking care. Like, I'm at a point where I can fully appreciate my body for what it does for me, which is the body neutrality vision, kind of. But also, it came with connecting with a higher purpose within myself. And I know it sounds very cheesy, but it's just true. And I'm not saying that any of you struggling with an eating disorder and going full recovery mode, you're not going to struggle with your weight gain. You might, and you probably will. I mean, it's a very personal experience. But from what I'm saying is, what I'm trying to say is, what really helped me is connecting with that future Chloe and what I want to do for my future, and how this eating disorder is not serving that future me. and just really working with professionals that can help you, you know, achieve that. It's really important. And also noting that there's no recovery like another recovery. Like your recovery is not going to be the same as mine. And this is just my experience that I had with accepting weight gain, and it was very unexpected. But I'm just trying to be hopeful for people that maybe think that they'll never accept their new body, or that they'll never accept weight gain, because I'm just trying to show you that it's possible. And it doesn't have to be at the same time that I accepted my weight gain. It might be at a different time in your recovery. Maybe you accepted years afterwards. Maybe you accepted before. Like, it took me years to get to this point, you know? Like, it took me 10 years to finally accept that I had to gain weight, and I had to regain a healthy weight to have a healthy, you know, BMI, and have a healthy lifestyle, and just be a healthy person, and to be happier also. So this is not about when I achieve this, or the moment where I achieve this and you have to do the same or you're not recovered. Like, no, we're not comparing recoveries here. What I'm trying to say is it's possible and it's achievable and you can do it. That's all I'm trying to say. That's like my message that I'm trying to come across. I want to say again, there's no recovery like another recovery. So your recovery is going to be different than mine. And this is just mere inspiration, and I'm just trying to share my experience, because I really believed for a really long time that I was never going to recover, that I was going to live my whole life being sick, and I was going to have an eating disorder my whole life. I was convinced that was me. How sad, right? Like, how depressing that sounds, because it is depressing. But at the same time, I'm just trying to share, like, with the right help, with the right resources, and maybe watching videos like this can catapult your recovery and like be some sort of support system that can push you through and make you connect with the deepest purposes, for your recovery. And what those are, really, that's up to you, and that depends on you. But I really think anyone can recover, and I really hope that you recover if you're watching this and you're struggling with your eating disorder. And I'm just really, really excited for what's to come with my life. I'm so hopeful. I've been so hopeful this last couple months. And I had a very, very bad relapse when I came back from the US, because I came back with weight gain because of traveling and eating foods that I don't normally eat. And, you know, America has like very rich foods, and I was overindulging because I was kind of like in holiday mode, and that's completely normal. But instead, I super obsessed about it when I came back, and I relapsed hard. And I'll be honest with you, I came back from that trip being really exhausted after I relapsed. I realized how exhausted I was of the restriction cycle, how exhausted I was with binging, how I was just really exhausted with everything. And that catapulted into changing my therapist, which was a really big step for me, going on medication and seeing a dietitian. So I hope, and this was all very inspired from videos that I saw online from people doing, you know, getting their wake-up calls or getting their moments of where they realize that they're really, really ill and then they need help. So I hope this serves as that type of inspiration for you as well. If you made it this far along the video, I really thank you for watching. And if you're struggling, please, if you have access to healthcare and, you know, mental health assistance and help, I really, really, really urge you to go and, you know, get... Oh my God, did you hear that? Jesus fucking Christ. As I was saying, to get help from a therapist, from a dietitian that's, you know, oriented in eating disorders and that they have the qualifications to help you. I can't even begin to describe how helpful that has been for me in the last couple months. It's been insanely helpful. So I really hope that anyone that's struggling and comes across this video for any reason, weight gain is not the most terrible thing in the world. Having an eating disorder can be one of the worst things to go through for a person. So I really hope that you come to terms with, you know, accepting that you're struggling with something that's really, really difficult, and that you get the help that you need. And I've been gaining weight and being very, very happy. I would say the happiest and the most stable I've been in a really long time. So who would have known? Weight gain is not terrible. Not only it's not terrible, but many times it's actually necessary to recover. So I'll just say goodbye to you guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye guys.